9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Superstar. Hey everybody! So I decided to use the intro for the first time in a while because I finally have a Canva subscription again, so I can use it without my video getting strike or where they make it demonetize it or whatever. So I wasn't able to use it there for a while. So I was up and figure I'd be up a little bit longer because I did take a nap today. So I was talking about Sebastian Rogers on my other channel a little bit, and I had done a reading on him like yesterday or something, and it looks really crazy. And to hear what, I don't know, I'm seeing some crazy things like news articles and stuff that I want to go over with you guys because I have no idea. Since I've already covered this case a little bit, I figured it was okay to go ahead, even though because I'm not really wanting to do children cases anymore. You know what I mean? Because people get way too crazy in the children cases. They do on all of them, but children's cases get very, very emotional. Excuse me, but I figured I'd cover this a few times, but I wanted to catch up on it. So I figured I'd watch with you guys. I have not been paying attention at all. And I'd say a couple months. And it sounds like let's see. I want to see what he. No, that's a one. Okay, this one right here.
Building your online business?
This is News Nation.
Go to Wix.com and set up.
As a parent, it pains me to say this.
Is people thinking it's Chris?
Hear it,
Katie?
but there really are boogeymen out there. There really are. There are evil people who snatch kids away from the one place on earth that they should be completely safe. Their own beds. Just ask the parents of Elizabeth Smart. Just ask the parents of Jessica Lunsford or Polly Klaas or Madeline McCann. Those are kids who were tucked in tight 1 minute, gone the next. And sometimes these kids make it home again. Think about Elizabeth Smart. Oftentimes, sadly, they do not. Always, though, the people who love them keep hoping. And when the headlines fade, the rest of the world moves on. But tonight, we are all hoping for the safe return of Sebastian Rogers. And if you have forgotten Sebastian, and I hope you have not,
Nikita.
We are past the 6-month mark from the night that he went to bed back in February, but was gone by morning. And when I say gone, I mean gone. No notes, no leads. Sebastian's clothes, even his shoes were still there. He's 15. He's from the Nashville area, and Sebastian has autism, which does not make the search or the investigation any easier. The Tennessee police and the FBI have been on the case from the start, but
See,
so far,
I feel they must know something here, because that's why it's so aggressive with this high dollar reward and stuff, because I feel like they must be really close to solving it, and they feel that Sebastian's alive. That's what it kind of makes me nervous for Summer Wells. You know what I mean? Why can't we done this for Summer Wells? I'm very happy for Sebastian, but seems like it. I heard, are they really trying to think that maybe he could be a victim of trafficking? Dog mistakenly calls Seth Sean.
The feds even put up a $50,000 reward for information leading to
That's
Sebastian
100,000,
Rogers'
right?
return. And now that reward has doubled to 100,000, thanks to America's most famous bounty hunter. Want to welcome back to the program Sebastian Rogers' father, Seth Rogers. And also with us is Tony Mathis. He speaks for the Rogers family during this emergency. And the man who now is on the Sebastian Rogers case, Dog the Bounty Hunter. Welcome to all three of you. Seth, I'll come to you first. We spoke, I think, 10 weeks ago or so, and I just wanted to touch base with you. Have you had any updates, any news?
Thank you for being a member for 5 months, Be Real.
It feels promising.
So much appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
And we've had some tips. And I've passed them over to Sumner County and my private investigator that's working on it.
I don't feel like Seth is involved at all. No way. The other two, yes. Allegedly, in my opinion. And I don't care. Like, people can get mad all they want. Somebody came in my reading was like saying something that I shouldn't speculate or whatever. Well, I'm sorry. You can feel out of the situation. And to me, Seth, a lot of people are giving him a hard time and stuff because of how he's acting. But I think it's normal to not give a fuck what people think when you have a child missing. Seriously. I think that's completely normal. You wouldn't be thinking about how you look to other people. All you care about is finding your child. But for some reason, Chris and Katie are afraid of what people think of them. Same thing with Dawn and Candace. And other characters I'm not even going to mention. Thank you, Be Real. Oh, yay, Jen. Congrats. Welcome to the Zigsters, Jen. Is it happening every 2 or 3 minutes right now? Is it happening on my live? It's not supposed to happen except every 12 minutes. I haven't even been live 1 12-minute. You should have only seen maybe at the beginning, maybe you see some before the start and then within the 12 minutes or something. Yes, thank you, Be Real. Bandit, stop. He's wanting some of my food, the spaghetti I made. But anyways, Seth is completely innocent in my opinion and acting completely normal. And Chris and Katie are completely guilty in my opinion and acting completely freaking weird and abnormal.
For news from Sumner County, no, I don't even know if they follow up with any of the tips we give them anymore.
Can you share those tips publicly, or do you have to keep them under the vest, understandably?
I'm keeping them under the vest because if they are Sebastian, I don't want somebody that doesn't have his best interests following up on our lead. Some people are doing leads and they don't even want to be involved in this case. And I can understand why. I mean, we've got people that are out here in the social media world that, you know, throw daggers at everybody that's helping me find Sebastian. And
you guys are gonna I know a lot of you, I know that Tony comes off really weird to a lot of you, but when I did a reading on his intentions, like, I got him coming out as the King of Cups, so that's like the most caring king of them all. So I you know, it's I wasn't getting that, surprisingly, you know. I was expecting it. I don't know. What's what's his name? Tony's intentions. Let's see what card comes out now. Yeah, a mediator, a negotiator, diplomatic or graceful, charming, and trying to get a homecoming. See, I'm getting the same thing. He really is trying to help. He's really trying to bring Sebastian home. That's what I'm getting, guys. I got that this time, and I got it a reading a few days ago. Oh yeah, I did a reading on mom and stepdad like yesterday or today or something. And I got that they freaking like deserted him somewhere in the middle of freaking nowhere. Or like just I don't know, I feel like it was both the mom and the stepdad. I don't know. I hear people start talking about possible like trafficking and stuff, and I wouldn't think there would. Do you think there would be I guess maybe there would. I don't know. Gosh, I don't think like a freaking pervert, so I wouldn't know if there was a market for 15-year-old, you know, autistic boys. It's weird to even freaking ask. You know what I mean? It's creepy to even look into for me. I feel like. I don't know. Yes, they did, Jen. It was Be Real. I'm sure most people, I think Justin, I don't know if Justin's still alive or whatever. He's been like on this case. It must be nonstop. It must be really crazy because Justin has been like live more than I've ever seen him live in since I've known him. So I figured that there might be a reason for that. And I'm hearing this case is really amping up. And then we got Dog the Bounty Hunter supposedly claiming Sebastian's alive and stuff. He's been heading out somewhere. See, that's definitely like something I was feeling. And I also felt like his parents could be involved. But I also got this feeling of, I got the card like the deserted card. Like, here, while we're watching this, I'll see what I get while we're watching this.
Even had him go to jail now.
Dog, jump in here. You know this blueprint, right? You know when a parent is trying everything. They're hiring their
it makes sense for Justin to do it though. Like, he's making like money, you know what I mean? And like putting out entertainment, but Judy Sue's just it's just weird. But yeah, I'm guessing it's just because his case has been getting crazy lately. I'm leaning towards he was lured by online predator through his gaming. Oh, I know. Well, I noticed it. I'm like, I was wondering if anybody else would notice it. And some other people were, I'm not going to call anybody out because there's other people were mentioning something too about it. I'm like, I thought I was the only one that noticed, like, holy crap. But I cannot like talk because at one point I used to be live 8 hours straight, 12 hour. I mean, not 12 hours. There was one time my longest was 11 hours, but the average was like 5 to 8 hours, was usually 5 to 8 hours a day back in the early Ziggy days. The Proudfoots have Sebastian hid because Katie knew that Chris wanted Sebastian to go live with Seth because Chris did not want Sebastian. I feel like, so in the reading, you just reminded me in my reading, because so that's what you just said must ring kind of true because to what I feel, because it just reminded me in my reading of what I felt like. I feel like that he was causing problems in their relationship, and freaking Katie was so desperate to save her relationship. Like, that's what I felt. I felt like a desperation. And you know what? I was also feeling like that Katie might be the one who actually ends up working with police and then trying to blame it on Chris. That's what I was getting. That she might end up be like and blaming some kind of abuse on Chris or something like that. Like she was forced to be involved or in something. That's what I was feeling in my reading. Like eventually the mother's going to cave. I felt like she was very regretful. I felt like she was going to end up leaving Chris and then end up first leaving Chris and then working with law enforcement and basically throwing Chris under the bus and blaming him for it all. And I feel like she's gonna be like, it's gonna be basically blamed on some kind of abuse or something. Because you see how timid she is and stuff. And I just feel like, but you know what? I don't feel she's innocent. I don't, but I think it makes me sick thinking about it, but it feels like she is going to try to blame Chris for it all. And the thing is, I feel like it was her freaking idea to try to save the relation. I literally feel like it was her idea because she was so desperate to save her relationship with Chris. Allegedly. This is all allegedly. But I heard someone who was in another chat who said the judge brought up that Katie is pregnant, but I don't know how true that is. It could be another rumor. Good night, Black Widow. Candace says possible too, and I also thought maybe someone in the neighborhood could have him, but his mother was the last to see him home. That's possible too. I thought, in my opinion, I've thought a lot of things could have happened to him. Yep. I don't know. I didn't like the mob crew guy that well. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, he was okay. I think it was just because I saw that video that he had where he was like labeling Jody Sue and Andy's house as it was trying to say it was the Blue Roof house. It was completely wrong and misinformation. And after that, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy, like, I can't believe like he still has that up. But I mean, I've made mistakes too. I mean, I really have. So, but I don't know. I just didn't find him that interesting. I feel bad for saying that, but everybody's able to have like their favorites and stuff like that. I don't know. He just doesn't have the personality I like, I guess. Probably because you have YouTube Premium, be real. Huh? He was labeling 120. He was labeling Jody 125 Ben Hill Road as Blue Roof Dawns. It was completely wrong. It was like real wrong. I just am not
of the police. They're collecting tips, they're passing them on, they're processing. Where do you take this case now that you're on board? How do you do things differently? And since it's been 6 months plus, how do you even begin?
Well, we began at the very beginning. And because I'm not a real law enforcement officer, I can do a lot of things that law enforcement cannot do. And I don't break the law, but I will bend it till it's fracturing point. So it's very sad because in the very beginning, I thought Sean may be involved in some kind of disappearance, or I thought the little boy was deceased. Days now into it, I have talked to Sean. I know that he was working. This is his only child. I have 12. I've been through this before one of my daughters were killed, but this is amazing. I know that he had nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
This guy can barely even talk without crying. I'm looking at him tonight, and we're both, crybabies. I'm looking at him right there on your show, and I'm like, I just want to start crying. Listen, I am going to hunt these people down. I think the boy is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, Ashley, I think this little boy was stashed somewhere because custody was just going to get very soon, very, very soon. Mr. Rogers was going to get custody of his son. And I think there's so much jealousy. You know the old saying, if you can't have him, if I can't have him, nobody will have him. I think that's exactly what we're seeing here, is a domestic squabble over a child.
Thanks for watching.
Wow. Is there a full episode of this? Have they released anything more about this? That was freaking interesting. So right here. So that's all they released. Yeah. I know, but maybe you could tell that Seth was kind of uncomfortable, let's watch that again. That was really crazy. So that's all they released of that? It's like they cut that off or something. Chris wanted Sebastian to go live with Seth. Katie didn't want it to happen. He's at least uncomfortable. I don't think he's. Do you think he's involved? No, I don't think he's involved at all. I absolutely agree with Dog on that about his guilt. I absolutely do not think that. But as far as I don't think, from what it sounds like Candace was saying, I don't think it was really. Why didn't they let? I want to hear Seth's response to that. Why didn't he let Seth talk about his opinion on that. That's what I want to know, because I didn't think there was really any type of sorry, I'm giving my dog some of the spaghetti. I didn't think there was really any kind of custody squabble to, you know what I mean? I don't think that was an issue. I think it was that he was causing problems in the relationship. Hold on. Let's see this again. There's more I watched, but forget what channels. Dog said this is the worst case ever. What? Okay, I'll find that too. Yeah, that's
As a
because
parent,
like some
it
intense
pains me to
words,
say
you
this, and
know?
it's going to pain you to hear it, but there really are boogeymen out there. There really are. There are evil case. Dog the bounty hunter. Welcome to all three of you. Seth, I'll come to you first. We spoke, I think, 10 weeks ago or so, and I just wanted to touch base with you. Have you had any updates, any news, anything at all that that feels promising?
We've had some, and we've had some tips. And I've passed them over to Sumner County and my private investigator that's working on it. But as for news from Sumner County, no, I don't even know if they follow up with any of the tips we give them anymore.
Can you share those tips publicly, or do you have to keep them under the vest, understandably?
I'm keeping them under the vest because if they are Sebastian, I don't want somebody that doesn't have his best interests following up on our lead. Some people are doing leads and they don't even want to be involved in this case. And I can understand why. I mean, we've got people that are out here in the social media world that, you know, throw daggers at everybody that's helping me find Sebastian. And we've even had them go to jail now.
Dog, jump in here. You know this blueprint, right? You know when a parent is trying everything. They're hiring their own people outside of the police. They're collecting tips. They're passing them on. They're processing. Where do you take this case now that you're on board? How do you do things differently? And since it's been 6 months plus, how do you even begin?
Well, we began at the very beginning. And because I'm not a real law enforcement officer, I can do a lot of things that law enforcement cannot do. And I don't break the law, but I will bend it till its fracturing point. So it's very sad because in the very beginning, I thought Sean may be involved in some kind of disappearance, or I thought the little boy was deceased.
I'm
Days
sorry,
now
it's
into
not.
it, I
You keep
have
saying
talked to
Sean.
Sean. I know that he was working. This is his only child. I have 12. I've been through this before one of my daughters were killed, but this is amazing. I know that he had nothing to do with this. This guy can barely even talk without crying. I'm looking at him tonight and we're both, crybabies. I'm looking at him right there on your show and I'm like, I just want to start crying. Listen, I'm going to hunt these people down. I think the boy is still alive. I'm telling you right now, Ashley, I think this little boy was stashed somewhere because custody was just going to get very soon, very, very soon. Mr. Rogers was going to get custody of his son. And I think there's so much jealousy. You know the old saying, if you can't have him, if I can't have him, nobody will have him. I think that's exactly what we're seeing here, is a domestic squabble over a child.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find.
So you said, okay, Dog the Bounty Hunter. I did hear something about what somebody else was saying, that Dog the Bounty Hunter was saying this is the worst case he's ever seen. That seemed kind of, to me, that I heard that too. I haven't seen that yet, but let's see. Where did I see that? Worst case. I saw that somewhere too. Mm.
Other of Sebastian Rogers to assist in the search for Sebastian and facilitate the arrest and prosecution of the individual or individuals responsible for his contingent on Seth Rogers' full and continued cooperation. This collaboration is contingent on Seth Rogers' full and continued cooperation, which he has already demonstrated. Isn't that weird? Okay, At Night will act independently from law enforcement, applying its own rigorous protocols.
This is At Night Private Intelligence Agency. Is that Tony's agency? Who has been missing since February 26, 2024 from Sumner County, Tennessee at the At Night Private Intelligence Agency has established a significant reward of $50,000 for information leading to the whereabouts of the missing teenager, in addition to the apprehension, arrest, and prosecution of the individuals. So this must be Dog the Bounty Hunter's company, because he's the other one that put in the $50,000, right? Hey, Keith. Yeah, he promised he promised Beth he wouldn't remarry, and then he did, like, right away or something. Like, or he was like with somebody like immediately after. It was crazy, wasn't it? Like, isn't that how it was? Like, he promised he would never marry again, and then after she passed, like, he started dating her like good friend or something. Like, give it a mutual friend, like, right away. And then they got married. I don't know. A lot of people were pretty upset with him. So it says, furthermore, At Night is working in collaboration with the legendary Dog the Bounty Hunter, and Nick the Hatzelfilosopher to gather evidence, information, and material pertinent to the disappearance of Sebastian. The legendary Dog the Bounty Hunter. Why did they put it like that? Says At Night has been retained by a private individual or entity to provide services to Seth Rogers, the father of Sebastian Rogers, to assist in a search for Sebastian and facilitate the arrest and prosecution of the individuals responsible for his disappearance. This collaboration is contingent on Seth Rogers' full and continued cooperation, which he has already demonstrated. At Night will act independently from law enforcement, applying its own rigorous protocols and treating all persons of interest with equal scrutiny. Information will be shared with federal law enforcement officials in real time, ensuring a cohesive and transparent flow of actionable intelligence through the investigation. At Night's commitment to the case involves deploying an array of advanced investigative techniques and methodologies. This includes conducting various tests, such as hypothesization and the strategic use of psychoactive compounds, ethanol, benzolate, midazolam, flunitrazepam, sodium thiopental, and amobarbital, among others. These substances employed in controlled settings are part of At Night's approach to extract critical information from subjects who may be otherwise unwilling or unable to cooperate. What? What does that mean? That sounds scary. What is that? What? What does that mean? This includes conducting various tests such as hypothesization and the strategic use of psychoactive compounds. Ethanol. So what? That's alcohol? And then scopolamine. What the hell is that? That is so weird. So, scopolamine is known as hyoscine or the devil's breath, is a natural or synthetically produced tropin alkaloid and anticholinergic drug that is used as a medication to treat motion sickness and postoperative nausea and vomiting. May cause drowsiness, dizziness, confusion, and or side effects, disorientation, dry mouth. What? Why is it called devil's breath? It is portrayed as a method to brainwash or control people into being defrauded by their attackers. What? It is portrayed as a method to brainwash or control people into being defrauded by their attackers. That's creepy. What the hell does that mean? Truth serums? That is so creepy. I think like Xanax type drugs will sometimes actually, but sometimes they'll actually make you lie too. Let's see. What's this? Quinaclonazolate. It says it might cause occur by inhalation, ingestion, or skin absorption. It can cause hallucinations, agitation, blurred vision, dry, flushed skin, urinary retention. Incapacitating agent. It says it's an incapacitating agent. What the heck is is one of the most potent anticholinergic psychomimetics known. It can. What the heck is That is so creepy. So I wonder which one Betty will gonna be after now, Suthy poo or doggy poo? Doggy too. She says she looks like Beth. Does she? Okay, so we have Maida Solam. So can cause paranoid or suicidal ideation, impair memory, judgment, and coordination. Combining with other substances, particularly alcohol, can slow breathing and possibly lead to death. It says why is midazolam banned, and then it said they argued that midazolam was cruel and unusual punishment, and thus contrary to the Eighth Amendment to the United States of Constitution. So how are they using this midazolam if it was like illegal? Is it illegal? It relieves anxiety, and yeah, it sounds like it puts you in some kind of hypnotic state or something, and maybe you start telling the truth, because you I don't know. These substances employed in control settings are part of At-Night's approach to extract critical information from subjects who may be otherwise unwilling or unable to cooperate. What the fuck? How do they do that legally? How can you do that legally? I don't understand. That doesn't sound legal. I don't understand this. It says these substances employed in controlled settings are part of At-Night's approach to extract critical information from subjects who may be otherwise unwilling or unable to cooperate. So somebody they don't even have to get somebody's permission. They can just like inject them with these. That is so crazy. That is so crazy to me. That doesn't sound normal.
And treating all persons of interest with equal scrutiny. Information will be shared with sodium thiopenol. Cool. Every contact and every piece of intelligence. Let's keep reading.
At-Night is augmenting the existing $50,000 FBI reward with an additional $50,000, bringing the total bounty for critical information to $100,000. This enhanced reward is designed to encourage the public to come forward with any information that could lead directly to Sebastian's recovery and the conviction of individuals involved in his disappearance. At-Night, renowned among the elite for their discretion and effectiveness, has been retained to assist the family and is now stepping into the spotlight to aid in the search for Sebastian, announced Joseph Lesniak, counsel for At-Night Intelligence Agency, Dog and Nick. Their commitment is unwavering to leverage every tool, every contract, and every piece of intelligence at their disposal to unravel this mystery. At night, pledges to deploy their full spectrum of intelligence and operational capabilities in the quest for answers and closure for Sebastian's family. If you have any information, contact Dog the Bounty Hunter's official tip line at 833-TELL-DOG. So I don't know how they're able to do that kind of stuff, but like maybe it doesn't seem like it's weird that how can they force somebody to do something like that? I don't understand it. I would think you'd have to have some kind of court order or something. He even, Dog was on the News Nation saying that he would use any, that since he's not actual law enforcement, that he can do things that law enforcement can't do, and he could cross lines that law enforcement can't. And do things that are like basically close to cross the line of being illegal, basically, is what he was saying. Yeah, they said ethanol. Ethanol's alcohol, right? I mean, that's what they gave to Candace. But I don't understand, like, it doesn't seem like you can legally give somebody that without them, or, it seems like they'd have to be aware of taking such a thing. Yeah, so ethanol is alcohol, right? So, I mean, I guess they could give somebody alcohol. So they're saying that, or they could offer somebody this stuff like willingly, or if maybe it seems like it would be I don't know how you could have that stuff. Like seems like if you could. It says these substances employed in controlled settings are part of a NICE approach to extract critical information from subjects who may be otherwise unwilling or unable to cooperate. Unwilling or unable? Why would somebody be unwilling or unable? Like, and how would you, and how, what?
Independently from state officials. Or FBI. Yeah, I mean,
let's see. So
$100,000. The FBI is now involved, as is Dog the Bounty Hunter. $100,000 is a lot of money, but Can it entice someone who knows what happened to Sebastian to talk? My fear is that whatever happened to Sebastian was committed by a small, tight-knit group, possibly just 1 to 2 people, and that all involved have a very compelling reason to keep their mouths shut. Prison. I don't know about you, but if keeping a secret meant not going to prison, I think I could keep my mouth shut. And girl, you know how much I love to talk. The people involved don't want to go to prison. That's definitely not part of the plan. I have to believe that 1 or more people are behind Sebastian's disappearance because it had to be a coordinated plan. I think Sebastian would have been found by now if he ran away and got stuck, say, in a chimney. Not to be gross, but there'd be an odor. And there ain't enough potpourri in this whole world to drown that out. More and more, I'm convinced that those mysterious lights captured on a hardwired security camera in the Proudfoots neighborhood at around 3 a.m. on the morning Sebastian vanished are related to his disappearance. It's just too much of a coincidence that at 3 a.m. on the morning of February 26th, the day Sebastian vanished, those lights turn up, hover, and move around the Proudfoot home. Give me a break. Despite reporter Nick Barris, the Proudfoots, law enforcement, and Seth Rogers saying the lights are from garbage trucks, I don't believe it. A neighbor has said on camera that the garbage trucks didn't arrive that Monday until around 5 a.m. That's an eyewitness saying that the 3 a.m. lights could not have been from garbage trucks. Also, the 3 a.m. lights appear between houses. Last time I checked, garbage trucks don't cut through
I'm still getting in the cards, guys. I said I was going to draw cards earlier. I'm still getting that his disappearance has something to do with lies, trickery, sneakiness, cunning, and it has he went missing in order to provide some kind of peace or avoid conflict, resolution of conflict, and have success in their relationship. Katie and Chris's relationship. Like, that's why Sebastian is missing, in my opinion. And what they did with him, like, it's I feel like I seriously feel like they could have just abandoned him. Yeah, there's the devil at the bottom. Seriously, I feel like, it's just gross.
yards, they don't drive over grass, you know what I mean? Chris of the Mob Crew has done some amazing work overlaying security camera footage from one hardwired camera in the neighborhood that captured a mysterious car showing up near Sebastian's home the same 3 a.m. hour as those moving lights. Chris laid that footage over the footage of the 2 lights, and he shows how the lights appear to be people walking between houses. Could this have been the moment somebody took Sebastian from the Proudfoot home to the waiting car? Then one of the lights appears to head back to the Proudfoot home. Could that be Katie Proudfoot? She was, after all, the only person left inside the house later that Monday morning. To me, this cannot be a coincidence. Chris also discussed that 2 of the neighbors' wireless Ring cameras stopped working prior to Sebastian's disappearance. It's possible that someone used what's called a jammer to stop those wireless cameras from receiving Wi-Fi signals. Katie Proudfoot worked for Bring Security, and she may still work for them, as an installation tech. Thus, she would likely know about these illegal jammers and how they can be used to prevent Ring cameras from working. Is all of this stuff a coincidence? In my opinion, I don't think so. I'm sorry, but this case is looking like an inside job to me. I'm speculating. I'm not accusing anyone. No one has been charged with a crime so far. And the police keep saying there's no evidence of foul play. To me, a 15-year-old autistic child with chromosomal deletion syndrome going poof into the night seems like foul play. But we know Chris Proudfoot did not want Sebastian living at his and Katie's house. Chris.
Yeah, see, I really feel like I don't know what's wrong with that lady, Katie. I'm a poet and didn't know it. But seriously, for real though, like, I don't know what's wrong with her. I think she must be on substances or something, allegedly, or maybe an alcoholic or something. Like that's just alleged. I have no idea. Okay, I'm not saying that's truth, but that's just her behavior seems like it, because nobody would make that decision in order to save a relationship, think that they'll just get rid of their child. Like, when you marry somebody, it's like a package deal. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you go together. So I think it's pretty messed up that I feel like she chose, she decided to, I feel like it was all Katie's idea. To sneak in, take the kid while parents know exactly what's happening. They don't want to go fund me or nothing for Sebastian. I believe it was hoping to not draw attention to his case. Yeah, and then here's Dog the Bounty Hunter, you know what I mean? That's why I feel the FBI got involved and why they're not involved in. So I don't believe this has anything to do with trafficking or anything. I believe more so what Dog's saying, that it's some kind of, like, he's hidden somewhere or they abandoned him somewhere. I feel like they abandoned him somewhere, like in the middle of nowhere, which is so horrible. Seriously. I don't know, like, if I don't know. That's what I felt like. It's just ridiculous, and yeah, and so anyways, I don't know. I feel like they know that, they feel like Sebastian's alive or something, or there's a good chance, or they must know some. FBI must like have some pretty good idea, because that's probably why they offered a reward, and because they probably thought a reward might get somebody to tell where Sebastian is, because there has to be a few people that know where he is, and they probably think he's alive. And with Summer Wells, it's like, well, FBI didn't do that for Summer Wells, so I don't know what that can mean for Summer. That's what makes me think. So somebody just sent me a message. No, you don't. Somebody sent a picture. Has this somebody just sent me a picture. They feel like they might have saw Sebastian. Who else? I wonder who else have they shared this with? I'm gonna ask them. Let me show you guys. She said that she said they'd keep telling her that it's not him, but she thinks it looks a lot like him. So I don't know who she means as they, but I'll show you guys. Oh, the missing lamp. Oh, the missing Amber Alert people. So you did turn it. Okay, so you did turn it in. That's good. Okay. I think our bandit. Shh, please. Huh. I guess that they're focusing on this kid right here. Where was this? The same person that what? I mean, he would, if that's him, he's gained a lot of weight. I don't know. That he would have had to put on a lot of weight. And so it's hard to imagine him like that. Here, I'm going to go back to this video.
Allegedly,
I don't know what to
there's
think about
concern
it.
that Sebastian might essay his young daughter, Faith, which is such an unfair thing to lay on Sebastian, who was a victim of SA himself under Chris and Katie's care. We also know.
Oh, wait. So he was a victim. But where at? Where is this? They said this person said it was the morning of the 4th of July parade. We walked through with a parade together, and he was an autistic, is what the person's saying. But where, though? Like, where? Wait, so what did I just... Wait.
Which is such an unfair thing to lay on Sebastian, who was a victim of SA himself under Chris and Katie's care. We also
Why? Wait, how was he under? He was a victim of SA under Chris and Katie. So what's the essay about here? Under Chris and Katie's watch. Who did it? I do remember that kind of actually, but who was it that did it?
Know from Seth Rogers that Sebastian, with his autism and chromosomal deletion syndrome, was likely going to need lifelong care from his parents. Even if Sebastian went to live with Seth, he would still see his mother, Katie, perhaps every other weekend and on some holidays. Now, if a spouse threatens to leave the other spouse if they don't do something.
Okay, I don't care. I wasn't asking if it was put out months ago. I was just asking what it was. Like, I told you I have not been following this case. That's how I started out this live. I have not been following this case. And that's why I said, let's get caught up on the Sebastian Rogers case. I have not been watching this stuff at all. You don't understand. That's why I'm watching it. And that's why I'm asking you. No, I did not. Have not watched anything on this case for about 2 months, like I said at the beginning of my live.
Thing about their child who requires a lot of special care, patience, understanding, and therapy. The parent, you'd think, would take the child's side over the spouse's side. But what if the parent comes from a troubled home, was perhaps mistreated as a child, and basically grew up in a less than ideal environment? That parent might be inclined to put the spouse before the child.
See, there's that. Let me see. Let me look at her picture when they lived in California. Yeah, I kind of remember it when I think about it, but I literally have not watched anything on this case for 2 months. I'm seriously, like, for a long time. I mean, whenever was the last time I've talked about on my channel here is the last time I've really covered it. I haven't covered it at all or been following it or watching it anywhere. I've been really trying, honestly, like I said, I was taking a break from the community. Completely. Here, let me see this picture. She said that this lady is saying that he said that his name was Sebastian Rogers. You turn this into law enforcement? But didn't Seth see this? Did Seth see this picture, guys? Because this woman's claiming that he told her, that kid told her his name was Sebastian Rogers. That's what she's saying. And let me see what you guys are saying. Because now I look at this photo right here of him, it does look a lot like that picture. But I'm trying to think how I can, here, let me try to screenshot this so I can make this into something so you guys can see side by side. And then let me see how to do this. I don't know how to use this. Freaking thing. I'm trying to figure out a way to put these pictures side by side. Doesn't want bad information. What are you talking about? What bad information before? Oh, you mean in the email? No, this is through a completely different avenue, guys. Gosh. We're just looking at a picture. I mean, it's not a big deal. Have you guys seen this picture before? Dang it, I need to figure out a way to put these side by side. All right, hold on. I'll send it to my phone. Hold on, let me add this. Next to this picture, the only reason why I'm entertaining this, because next to this picture, I mean, why can't we hear the lady out? I don't understand the big deal, though, is all I'm saying. Good night, Jen. Good night, Luminous. Hold on 1 second. That one. Hold on. I'm trying to put these two pictures together, and it's really, I'm having a hard time here. It's really irritating. Oh, wait, hold on. There it is. Okay, save this. Save to device. Then open up. InShot, is that something? Okay, yeah, InShot is one of them. Collage. Okay, here we go. Finally. I just wanted to put these side by side so you guys could see. I'm not saying believe it at all. But and it's probably, I mean, it's not, nobody's saying it is, nobody is saying it's Sebastian. They're asking, this is not the same thing as last time, though. It's completely different. I don't understand why anybody got upset at all. I've got this ad going. All right. Finally got it ready. Well, I thought I had it ready, but now I have to send it to email it back to my computer. Thought I could pull it up on Messenger from my computer, but nope. I guess so. I speak. I don't know. I don't understand why. All right. Hold on. Here we go. This is what I've been trying to do for like the longest time. So it's hard to see like his, I don't know. See the glasses. I don't know. I wish the guy's mouth was open. This woman, I hope that you turned it in to law enforcement just in case this, she said this was in Michigan, but you know, I don't know. It's hard to tell. You can't, his nose looks smaller on the left one, but of course the one on the right is like much more clear. The glasses do look similar at the corners. That's what bugged me, is when I see and in the middle, if you look in the middle between the glasses on the outsides too, it's like really dark. And in the middle. But the one on the left, he looks too big. You know what I mean? One on the right, I feel like Sebastian has a little bit of a bigger nose. It's hard to, yeah, I don't know if those are, I wouldn't probably say they're the same, but I don't know. If you really, really believe that, then turn it in. That's all I would say. Just email it to TBI tips at, here, I'll give you the email and just email it in to them. If you really, really, truly believe that, just email it into them. You know what I mean? Because I'm not law enforcement, and this isn't the main case I really watch anyways. Oh my God, dude. Wow. What a loser, dude. Sorry, I was looking at something that somebody had. Did you turn it into TBI? I would just email it to hold on. I am not gonna. I mean, the neck does look similar. The way he's standing kind of looks similar. I wish the picture was a little bit clearer and stuff. The one on the left, I say the guy. This woman's claiming that this boy was calling himself Sebastian Rogers and said that he was 15 years old, and in Michigan. Do you think the boy on the left, do you think he looks like a little bit older than 15? Yeah, I don't know. The glasses look very similar, though. I will give it that. The glasses is what's like throwing me off. Because look at the edges in the middle of the glasses. Like if you look on the outsides of the glasses, right here. Hold on, let me see what you guys are seeing on my phone. Right here, and then right here, and then right in the middle, and then middle here. But see, his nose is too, I don't know, his nose seems a little too small. But I know this one on the right is much closer too, and I can see that this boy, I could see the ears, hold on, like right here, it does look like, I don't know, it's hard to tell. Yeah, and the bottom of the glasses though does look like had it thicker frames, but I don't know if you know what I mean too. I do notice that too. It does, but I don't know if that's because of shadow or something. You know what I mean? I just thought these like at the edges and in the middle looked very. I wish it's in it right here underneath the chin. Look at that line right here. He has this line right here. But then I don't know. The noses don't look. I think the nose doesn't look similar enough. I think the nose would be more pronounced over here. If I'll send you the email that I've sent information in to TBI, you know, before, if you want to send it into TBI and just email it to him and tell him exactly what he told you. Just say, that's what I've done. If you Google TBI tips, you can get an email online and you can just send them. That's what I do a lot of times. If instead of calling him, I'll just like email him my phone calls and stuff like that. Email him to that TBI tips line and say, I saw this kid at exactly where, the date and everything, like you just told me, you know, and I know you say you turned it into Amber Alert people or whatever, and they don't think it's him, but I don't know. Just email it to TBI. You know what I mean? Because just email it to them. They might not even, like most of the time, they don't even contact you back. You know, but it's just good to turn it in if you truly, truly believe that, because oops, shit. Well, I was messaging Luminous to make sure she's okay. So don't worry about her. Everything will be okay. The boy in yellow is definitely heavier, but did they let him eat whatever he wanted to? Like, I heard, weren't they saying? Yeah, and I don't know. I think the nose is what's throwing me. Makes me feel like it's not him. But the picture I know is so much further away. But like, I really had to scroll in to get that close to the picture of the yellow shirt kid. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't really think. But seriously, I mean, they look enough like and if that's true, what you told me, then they look enough alike to turn it in. But it's a message. It's just remembering that I've never seen you before in my life. Why? Are you fucking for real right now? Every single other person ever. The one on the left doesn't even, to me. What about the sighting that was in, what was it, North Carolina? Same difference. It's the same thing, guys. All the time. There's been sightings of summer wells put out. It's completely normal. People do this all the time. This is nothing new. But like I said, I think the one on the left looks a little bit older and definitely heavier. So I don't know. It's not, I don't feel like it's my place to like turn it in or anything or really even do anything with it. You know what I mean? Because the dog's loose and he's carrying psychotropic drugs. Nobody wants the truth serum. I don't understand. I don't understand. How can they just drug somebody like that? You know? Okay. She claims she's emailed TBI, so yeah. Well, I mean, I guess only time will tell on that. This is like Sebastian's case it interests me. I wanted to get caught up with you guys, but it's not something I'm going to do like every day like I did with Summer Wells and stuff, you know. I just wanted, I had no, I do actually remember the essay allegations now, or something like that. I do remember that a couple months ago, but I couldn't remember who. I don't know. I'd forgotten it. I really had not watched this case in a couple months. I swear. I was trying to get away from the drama and stuff. There is a lot of drama surrounding this case. You know what I mean? You can't go into these case. It's just a lot of drama, and it's a lot of stress, kind of, in a way. I don't know. I have a lot of other stressful things going on in my life, so I just haven't been watching this stuff lately. Hey, Amos. It would be hard to cover 2 chaotic cases at one time. I know, right? Whistle me too. Yeah, I have more than I can handle as far as drama right now, you know, as I have more than I can handle. There's enough with the as is with the, you know, how much I'm involved with the Summer Wells case. There's enough with that. I don't need to really get more. That's why I'm saying, like, it's not a big thing to me whether or not, like, I don't feel like it's my place to take that submission seriously. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I can do with that. I think it's up. I just am not one of the big. I'm not really covering the case. But like, I mean, they look similar, but it looks like Sebastian. They look like, I don't know, kind of similar, like Sebastian, maybe with 20 pounds on them. But I was trying to remember if there was allegations of them depriving him food and stuff. Was there any type of allegations of that? Yeah, I was just hearing the person out. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I'm gonna believe them, but I at all. And I understand it's putting out the kid on the left. To me, looked like a little bit older than a 15-year-old boy, but still, I mean, I get it, but there's people all the time that there's sightings all the time that people think, oh, is this Summer Wells, or is this, you know, we've had those all like several times. It's not something new. is completely different than the situation when I was saying what I said about never mind. Had camera on fridge or alarm. Wasn't two cameras. 111 chat, by the way. Wasn't there two cameras supposedly that were turned off or like removed 2 days before Sebastian went missing or something? So weird. Sorry, somebody's sending me something. I see why. Okay. Oh, momento. The heck? I'm looking at something, a message somebody sent me real quick. Don't mean to be rude. One second. I have to send a message back. All right. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I mean, thank you, November Rain, and everybody for being here and stuff. It's just, I think it's just crazy. The stuff that I was hearing. Was there some kind of bust of a police department or something? Somebody said something about a more, what was it about? Some kind of police department was did that have something to do with Sebastian? Because I was confused on that. In Millersville? TBI rated to Millersville Police Department is investigating the police chief, and they're also investigating the police chief's home as well. So they were it's just, it doesn't have anything to do with Sebastian. Just shady law enforcement dealings. Dang. Well, I'm hoping, I didn't know if somebody thought that law enforcement could be involved, like, in Sebastian's and help hiding him or something, but that would be crazy, but I don't think so. I feel like it's just Chris and Katie and maybe one or two other people. I hope he is alive, you know? That would be the best case scenario. I mean, hopefully they didn't just take him out in the middle of nowhere and just drop him off somewhere. I mean, what is around that area? Is there some kind of vast, like, what if he just, like Chris took him somewhere and just, like, because when I did a reading on it, I got the desert card, and I clarified it with another card and I got that looked like another desert. And so I'm like, does that mean that they deserted him, or? And then I kept getting stuff about abandonment. I just wonder where they could have taken him and just left him out where he would never be found, or where he would never, I don't know. Is it the police station police station that Seth worked at, or is there, okay. Isn't Seth a correctional officer? He was, at least. That's right. I thought there was some type of rumor surrounding some type of police corruption or something. I don't think that Seth ever went back to work, did he? I mean, I don't blame him, honestly. I can't say that I would be, in a big hurry to get back to work if my child was missing. But see, I understand life continues and stuff, but I mean, if your child is gone, I just really hope that it just bugs Katie so bad that she just, maybe she gets clean or something, maybe she's been drinking a lot. Maybe she, had been binging on alcohol and made a stupid decision or something. And maybe she gets clean and then decides to come clean about what really happened. Maybe dog will pressure the parents enough to maybe he'll actually get. Can you imagine dog confronting Chris Proudfoot? That would be crazy. That would be crazy TV. Seth worked in Montgomery County Jail. My brother was a police officer there. Did he know him? Smuggling stuff into the jail. Oh, yeah. What was something else? Like, I heard some other crazy shit like that. I can't remember. It was somebody who had worked for the. Oh, what about the guy, that officer who, where was it at that he had pulled over a vehicle, but then stole the toolbox? They checked the police cam and they saw that when the officer actually removed the toolbox and put it into his patrol vehicle, and then they ended up recovering the toolbox at the officer's home. 111 in chat again. He switched to another state before Seth worked there. But Seth wasn't exactly a police officer, right? I mean, he was just some corrections officers, like, they get to carry a gun and stuff, but I don't think he was one of those. Right? Or I can't remember where I heard that story, November Rain. I think it was me and Fred that were talking about it. And then, what about Jodi Arias? Or what's her? No, not Jodi Arias. Freaking top mom, Casey Anthony. What is Tennessee coming to? She's moved to Tennessee. I guess she's with some guy who is married, or some woman that left his wife for top mom killer, or whatever she's called. She's in south of Nashville in a town called Spring Hill now with her new boyfriend, who just left his wife, and for her. And I guess, the ex is very bitter, and I think is talking to rag mags. He does have kids. They're two teenage sons. Yeah, they live in some kind of luxury apartment complex or whatever, and he left like his kids and wife, and I guess to be with her. I think that he's having some kind of midlife crisis, probably. I don't know. She's probably, how old is she now? Let's see. Hey Siri, how old is Casey Anthony?
Casey was only 21 when her daughter died in 2008. This is from Oxygen.com.
21 in 2008. And okay, so now I'm going to have to do freaking math here. 37, I guess. 16 years ago. I didn't think we had to use our brains anymore these days. I thought that AI did all that for us. So she'd be 37 about, and he is 45, I think. So the information being released is so sickening. Yeah, I did a reading on that, and it was I did a reading on it, and that mother is, in my opinion, disgusting. Allegedly, in my opinion. Yes. Wait, have you been keeping up with the Gypsy Rose? Can somebody please tell me who the baby for, if y'all are? Wait, what? Even Gypsy Rose, can somebody tell me who the baby for, if y'all are? What do you mean? I have been keeping up with it, and the more I watch it, the more I don't like Gypsy, and the more I feel like that she must be like extremely smart and manipulative, because it does not look like that any of those surgeries she had, like all of them look like they were necessary. So it doesn't feel like Munchausen anymore. And that's what her defense was. And she freaking lured for 2 years, tried to convince Nicholas Godejohn to kill her mother. Then she's the one that came up with the ideas of these alter egos, where she came up with Ruby, and then he was Victor, and then, had him try, playing these like mind games with him, making him think, oh, well, if Victor does it, then you're not bad. You know what I mean? So like, she's the one that came up with this alter ego shit, where they played role playing, and she had Ruby and Emma and some other characters or side characters or whatever, and he had Victor, who was this sexual deviant and horrible person. And so Victor is actually the one that supposedly unalived Dee Dee. And see how Gypsy manipulated him to make him think like, oh, and he's autistic too, to make him think, oh, it's not you doing it, and you're doing it for a good reason, a good thing. My mom's making me sleep outside with the bugs and stuff. And then Come to find out, none of that looks like it was true. So she completely lied to him and used him and then completely threw him under the bus. It just seems really gross. Who is the baby daddy? Well, I watched Ryan Anderson today. He was live for the first time in a long time. And he was saying, wouldn't it be funny if he ended up was the father and there would be egg on their face because they've had this like all these parties and reveal parties and stuff like that. Wouldn't it be crazy if the baby was Ryan's? Ryan was actually saying that. But it's supposedly Ken's. But they're gonna do paternity after the baby's born. She's living in your town now? Oh my gosh. Are you serious? How close does she live to you? Well, the more I've watched on it and stuff and learned, and the autopsies come out and everything, more and more it comes out, and the more I don't know, and it feels gross too what she did to her husband. Like, you know what I mean? It feels like she used him too, and then it just seems like it does seem gross. It's weird. It's gross when you think of it that she's making like she's probably a millionaire. Actually, I think that somebody said she's like worth $2 million or something. I don't know. You could be wrong, but she's bringing in the money, buku dollars, and she's getting all lots of sponsorships and stuff, and it's weird to think that somebody's making crazy money on unaliving their mom. Like, she manipulated this kid who was autistic. Like, it was not a person with normal IQ. He had an IQ of 80. So he was borderline. From my understanding, right? Wasn't his IQ 80? So that's my uncle's IQ, and he is borderline mentally retarded. That's what I've always known, what we've always known to say. I mean, we didn't say that in front of him, but that's just what my grandma told us. Yeah, and she bought the knife, and my uncle can't even read. My dad would get him the Bible on cassette and stuff. But Nicholas seems like smart in other ways. Aren't autistic usually really smart though? I think that he was actually autistic. Those who have autism are usually really smart. I think it was more so she manipulated his Like, I think autistic kids are affected. Like, they just love so hard, don't they? Isn't that how autistics are? They just are so. I feel like he really thought he was doing a good thing. Like, that he thought he was doing the right thing. I just think it's horrible how Gypsy, come to find out, like, she worked on him for 2 years to get him to do that. And he even tried to get her to just like leave with him, like, oh, let me just pick you up and we'll just take off. And no, she acted like, oh no, her mom was a monster and all this, and she couldn't get away from her. And there, and then she puts a post up on social media, okay, right after he supposedly unalived her mother, And she puts up a social media post calling her, she's the one that did all those posts herself. And she types out calling her own mother, like she's pretending like she's the killer and calling her own mother like a fat pig or something like that. And then saying the daughter, saying that she killed the sweet daughter too. Her scream was so sweet. Just really gross stuff. Just a lot of weird stuff. She took video the night of in the hotel of them like eating brownies and shit. But it's weird because things aren't adding up with the stab wounds and stuff, like from what I hear, and from the supposedly what Nick Godejohn says, as far as how many times he supposedly, I mean, he seems like a pretty honest kid, you know what I mean? I say kid, but like at the time he was, I guess he seemed like a kid. But he said like what 6 times or something, but there was like 14, and then he didn't mention anything about like the head wound. Like her head was like almost like completely severed. It was like halfway cut, like halfway through. You know how much pressure and effort that would take? And then some are wondering if all this new stuff coming out is crazy. It makes me, I don't know what to think about these other like people now coming. We're hearing about this David Blanchard and then I don't know. I think I think she trapped Ken. Watch it end up being Ryan's, and then she won't be able to keep Ken or Ryan. That's how I kind of lack common sense sometimes. That's how, I mean, Fred was making fun of me of that earlier. Was giving me a hard time about that earlier. I just say, can't have it all. Just joking, but yeah, it's weird. Can you imagine being involved in such a thing? Or even if, let's say she even wasn't a part of the actual stabbing, okay? Like, can you imagine wanting to go back to a hotel room and like party afterwards and have sex and, it's just strange, and eat like, oh, you're going to be super hungry after that? Like, why didn't she just run away with him? It doesn't make any sense to me. I thought, and to find out that she was 23 when it happened, and not 19. I don't know. And I understand she was manipulated her whole life and it wasn't fair. Like, I mean, maybe she should have got like 25 to life or something with the possibility of parole at like 25 years or something. But not like, and they both should have got that 25 to life and then possibility of parole, something like that. Just because, and then that way he's actually the one that should be getting her sentence and her in a kind of in a way, like, to me, that's that's a abuse of power, like controlling somebody like that. Isn't that a crime? That's like what's that? What's his name? Manson. Charles Manson. Didn't Charles Manson try to convince people to do his dirty work? I don't believe Ken's going to stick around forever. I really don't. He's going to be so bitter. He's going to be full of resentment. Because I believe he's going to think that she tried trapping him by getting pregnant. I'm not sure he really wanted to be with her and for long term. I do believe the whole like bisexual rumors and stuff. Not that I care, but yeah. And then when you hear Nick Godejohn's father speak recently about his son and stuff, it's heartbreaking. And he talks about how she manipulated him. And I agree. I think she did. I think he should get a possibility of parole. I think he should get a reduction. I forget what his sentence is, but I think it's like no possibility of parole or something like that. But see, I believe that she tried. There was video proof out that she absolutely knows that she has a what's it called? Microsome deletion. Is that what it's called? Microsome deletion or whatever? Microsome deletion? I can't say it right now. Anyways, she knows that. She said it in a post lately. She's lied before in an interview. Before saying she didn't have anything wrong with her, not anything. Come to find out, she does have this microsome deletion thing, which causes certain things like too much saliva and all that. So that would make sense why she had to have her saliva glands removed. And then there's like every surgery she had, I guess, was necessary because of the side effects of this microsome deletion thing. Come to find out. So it wasn't Munchausen. Like basically the feeding tube was necessary. Come to find out the saliva glands. Like that's why I was like, oh my God, I felt horrible thinking that her saliva glands and stuff was taken out and all that. And then come to find out it was necessary. They're thinking like is what people are saying. They're going to try to give Nick a new trial or try to get him out. I think Gypsy's worried that Nick is she's trying to manipulate him into probably staying quiet. I heard that she was trying to contact him and got in trouble for it. So I don't know. I heard Nick's trying though, Blue Jeans. Yeah, supposedly. I forget what the feeding tube was necessary for. I'm trying to remember. But like, what was some of the other things that was necessary that she had done? Now, the only thing that was not necessary was like the head shaving and stuff like that. That was to make her, that was part of the con. Like the head shaving, the wheelchair wasn't necessary, so that was part of the con. But see, she had to have this zone deletion thing is very, very, very rare, and so it's very, very like most doctors probably don't. I don't know if not many doctors know about it. So maybe Dee Dee was able to go around and make people think that Gypsy had these disorders like multiple sclerosis and stuff like that, because Gypsy had this very rare disorder, extremely rare. I think only like 100 people in the world have had it. So maybe because of it being so incredibly rare, they were able together to, con people into thinking she had these other disorders because of how rare this deletion was. Chromosome deletion. That's what it's called. Chromosome deletion. I kept saying microsome deletion. Okay. Just call me Prayer Garden, okay? Swear Garden. Chromosome deletion. WTF. I went for like 5 minutes saying that. I'm like, what the hell? Something doesn't sound right now. Chromosome deletion. So she has a chromosome deletion. You can look it up, and only like 100 people have had it. You can look up the, other kids that have had it and look at their pictures. They look so similar to Gypsy. At one time, Gypsy tried to act like she didn't have it. And then recently, when she got pregnant, she made a post saying, "Oh, I feel like I might been selfish by getting pregnant because I have this chromosome deletion. And what if I pass it on to my baby and stuff?" Like, what? You tried to act like you had nothing wrong with you. And that's what she said on I don't know if it's Dr. Phil or which one it was on. And she said absolutely nothing wrong with her. Except, what was the one thing she said? Except, a lazy eye. Except a little bit of a lazy eye, and that's it. She completely denied having this chromosome deletion for a long period of time. So, anyways, she just pretty much I forget the feeding tube though, what that was for. But see, they would fake cancer and stuff like that by shaving her head, and then they would fake the multiple sclerosis by using the wheelchair when she could really walk. Oh, also like with the chromosome deletion or whatever, it can also cause muscle, like low muscle tone. So sometimes like they'll not be able to walk very well and stuff and have to use a wheelchair. But see, like Dee Dee really, I guess, played on that. But Gypsy was part of the whole con too. By the time she was 8 years old, she said that she knew she could walk. And then when she decided to finally go through with unaliving her mother, it was when she was 23 years old. Not 19. You know what I mean? She had all those years. I don't know. I just feel like she could have run away. I don't understand why that seems like sick. Like she wanted to see what somebody would do for her. She seems like very spoiled brat. Like seriously, like a spoiled brat. Like, I mean, she's really into that dominatrix stuff, and what's it called, BDSM and stuff, and I just feel like in these videos that have been put out of her role playing in this Ruby's, sexual character where she's this sex seductress, you know what I mean? And she's trying to act like, I don't know, she's just role playing, and just, it's weird, very weird. Like, what would you do if, something happened to poor, she would try to act like she had different personalities and talk about Gypsy herself in the third person and role play, and like try to act like, what would you do if something happened to Gypsy, and it would be Gypsy speaking as her alter ego Ruby to Nick, in these videos, like role playing, like what would he do if something happened to her and stuff like that, and just like really seeing like how far he would go for her. And she worked him for 2 years. 2 years until he felt like there was absolutely no other option. I believe, are people with autism usually more honest, or is that, I don't know if that's actually really a thing. Like, if some people would, I know that they have social skill interaction problems sometimes, or most of the time. And there's different spectrum. Oh, yeah, they're allergic to sugar and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, I guess I'm going to go. Sorry if I didn't mean to upset anybody earlier. But anyways, I'm tired, and I will talk to everybody tomorrow. And there's 111 in chat.